Alrighty, y'all. Hello. POV. You're an American somewhere in Europe.
Okay. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Okay. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process.
Yeah, your door locks are like some sort of magical device that seems to take like 30 turns to get it unlocked. Now, maybe that's when you're doing it wrong, I could say. I know I've done videos on European doors. They're definitely superior, right? They're stronger. They've got all the deadbolts. They're sturdier. I get it. But if you're in a hurry, like this comment says, Michael Myers was after you. Yeah, that would be bad. Obviously, if you have to piss your pants getting in that door, I feel like this is a nightmare. Let's just say you're going to have extra laundry that night, unfortunately. POV, you're in Europe. It is so funny because I've gotten used to this now because we do, of course, remember, get a lot of our, grocery items for home from a straight up European store. And yes, all of the products have these caps on them. I have grown to be accustomed with it. Hell, I would even argue I'm almost used to it. It feels weird when I go to like a gas station and, buy a drink, an American drink, and then I take the cap off and it actually has fallen off a couple times because I'm used to it just sticking to the bottle. Whoa. Am I becoming more European? My point exactly. I found someone else that did it. Look at them. See, she's like, wait, this doesn't feel right. There we go. That's supposed to be kind of resting right here, giving you the little tickle beside your mouth there. This is kind of where I'm at. It's weird. POV, you visit Europe. What the hell? You guys gotta let me know in the comments. I don't get it. Do people just stare at you like that? That's kind of whoa. Damn, right? What the hell, bro? POV, it's June 2024. Okay. And you're in Europe. I wonder why that matters. Is this the thing? Wow. There's a lot of these Adidas sneakers. Is this the thing? I mean, this feels wrong to say, is this the thing in Europe? I mean, I imagine style varies greatly throughout the giant continent of Europe, but okay, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing this one again. This one might be a good video for comments because some of these I'm not fully understanding. I imagine Adidas sneakers are like pretty popular throughout European countries. That wouldn't shock me. So I don't know if I'm missing something here or what. I mean, I have black and white Adidas sneakers very similar to this myself, and I'm American, so. POV, you order shrimp in Europe. I love shrimp. I've been actually on a shrimp kick lately. Oh my goodness. Now that is shrimp. That is shrimp. Yeah, I'm going to keep it real with you. That never has happened, at least in my experience. Ordering shrimp in the U.S. does not look like this at all. Let me show you what it looks like, actually. So obviously, when you Google shrimp, right, it's going to pull up the whole thing. Now, here's the fun part, though. In the U.S., whenever you order shrimp at a restaurant, it's either going to be, I mean, if you have fried shrimp, it's going to look like this, right? But that's fried shrimp. If you get regular shrimp, which I don't tend to get fried shrimp, I get regular. This is what it's going to look like, right? It's going to look just like this. And you eat all this. Of course, you hold it by the tail and you don't eat the tail. And then you leave those there and that's it, right? You see how like kind of clean and easy this is? Now this, remember, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I am American still. And a lot of like this girl's face really says it all. That is not what she had in mind. And I have to admit, as a fellow American, whew, that would not be what I would originally have in mind either. Again, nothing wrong with it. It is kind of probably healthy to see what you're really eating. But some foods have been so, let's say, modified in the U.S. that when you see the real thing, you're just not used to it anymore. I love the comments over here. The guy in the back looks like he's taking an exam. He does. Are you American? Yes, she is. I think you could tell. I'm so confused. What does shrimp look like in the U.S.? Armed with weapons? No, nice try. As a matter of fact, not armed with anything. A lot more, less armed and naked than this shrimp appears. POV, you gotta go, but you're in Switzerland. Whoa. What is this? What is this? This is the most insane restroom I've ever seen. What the hell? Oh, OMFG, these things killed me. I got stuck in a self-cleaning one because I somehow set it off. I mean, yeah, this looks incredibly clean, right? If you see this comment, I mean, it's spectacular, honestly. I thought it was an elevator. Oh my God. Where is the sink? Good point. Although this might be so advanced for the American mind, maybe we don't understand. There could be some sink contraption hidden in here. I don't know. I'm just kind of amazed. I'm a little bit amazed. You know, we've seen simple things be different in different countries, and some of them are like, okay, this is kind of cool. Or this is pretty genius, right? I didn't expect, like, we've seen, bathroom, restroom, toilet differences between European countries and the U.S. before, but this one hits different. I don't know what it is. It's surprisingly roomy. It is very clean. It's, dare I say, fancy or like upscale. And if you're laughing and don't understand what I'm saying, then unfortunately, I don't think you understand what your typical smaller bathroom or porta potty or porta john would look like in the U.S. This is like a 5-star hotel. It's a little bit intimidating. Honestly, it's kind of cool. I would have to probably like figure out the right way to do this. This looks like this toilet seat swings down, but it's kind of like levitated. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. But Switzerland, your bathrooms, they're hella interesting. Very interesting. POV, you're an American electrician in Europe. Okay. Okay, is he... Oh, look at that. Look at all the electrical lines. They're underground. That's so cool. It'd be so much cleaner looking than here. Now, is he worried? This looks like it's... Is he worried it's by the water? That's a little odd. I kind of agree. But then again, it looks like it's high enough. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's some water line. I don't know how high it gets. Probably never this high. I mean, it looks like it's, shielded and insulated pretty well. And like I said, the underground thing is cool because power lines here are, I don't know, not the cleanest. In the U.S., you're going to have power lines like this, even in rural areas, right? Different power lines. Of course, if you look in cities, if you look at cities like, here's Chicago near me, right? You're going to have power lines everywhere, right? It's just kind of a mess. That's just how it is in the U.S. And then you have like the rusted out ones, old school. Typically, I don't know. In my opinion, ours are pretty outdated and clunky looking, you could say. So the fact that a lot of, as far as I've seen, a lot of European countries having the power lines buried underground is pretty cool, honestly. Someone even mentions in the comments, meanwhile, in America, you can kind of see here. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with. POV, you spend 2 weeks in Europe and you're hopeful every day that you'll find a decent iced coffee, but it never happens. Oh my God. I don't know. You're in the wrong place, I think. They have really good coffee in multiple European countries, I'm pretty sure. Maybe just try to adapt a little bit, right? The iced sugar extreme with a drop of coffee that you'd find at your typical U.S. establishment. Well, unfortunately, that's not the norm in other places. Thank goodness, for good reason, right? As many of the comments have told her, I think your sugar water with a hint of coffee. Yeah, because we actually put coffee in it. There it is. Just go to Starbucks. They'll have your coffee. And that's the thing. Like, they do actually have Starbucks and some coffee chains in Europe. I'm sure that she can find some sort of Americanized version, right, if she's so inclined. POV, you're in Paris and see this kid buy a bottle of wine for her parents and skip home. Wow, that is different. The description says French kids are next level. Yeah, they are. This is, I could see maybe old school USA, maybe like in the 50s or 60s. Maybe, I don't know, like sort of, probably not buying alcohol even back then, though. Maybe buying like packs of cigarettes and stuff. I could see them doing kind of daring things like this back then, but obviously not now at all, right? They are like super crazy nationwide about carding you for any tobacco, any alcohol. Like, this is not happening. Meanwhile, in France, this kid is literally skipping home with wine. This is kind of epic in a way. I'm amazed. I was buying packs of cigarettes from my dad at 6 years old in the Balkans, and then came to the U.S. and couldn't even buy candy alone. Yeah, it's not a rip on the kids. It's our culture and society here, especially just modern day, even compared to, like I said, 30, 40 years ago. Kids are just not independent these days, like as in out in the world, right? And it's a shame. I think that that's something they're missing out on, right? And I think that's important that they're able to do that at a young age. But the problem is not always just the parents, it's just our society here. It's unfortunately people, there's a lot of sickos and weirdos out there and a lot of problems in the U.S. And I think people don't trust society. I don't, right? I'll just be real. Like, I don't trust, it's not that I don't trust my kids, it's that I don't trust my kids walking out of my eyesight in public around here. I just don't trust it. Opportunity for, something bad to happen, I feel like is unfortunately just too high in the U.S., and that's a damn shame. You don't need to do this. What is this guy on, man? You don't need to do this sound. That is absolutely hilarious. Apparently, it's an American partying in Athens, Greece, for reference, specifically from the description. I would have said the same thing. Doing all that for what? I got shushed in a bar in Barcelona for doing this. Please, he was overstimulated bad. POV, you're in Sweden. What is going on? I'm a little confused. The description only says literally everywhere. That's all it says. And they're filming something. I thought it was like money at first, but it looks too small to be any sort of currency. I don't understand. It's not random trash either, because I feel like it's the same type of thing she's filming, or he, whoever it is. I don't know. I don't get this one.
Is to be always mid-strong. Leonardo was a very wrong person. He was queer. Leonardo was queer. Leonardo, you don't know, in a way that's unreadable for the common, because the common are the people who can be influenced, so that's... Okay,
that's hilarious.
And then you have a break.
I just got to bite the bullet and just learn French. Because that is supposed to be English class. Like if you're international, she's taking a class that's given in English in France. But the professor is totally speaking mostly French with a little English sprinkled in. Some what would it be? Not Spanglish, like Spanish and English. It would be like, I don't know, French, Franglish, something like that. I don't know. That was hilarious. It was very, very hard to understand. Honestly, I didn't understand anything except that Leonardo was queer. That's it. That's all I understood. I speak both English and French, but having French professors giving their classes in English was a whole new language. POV, you're in Europe spending euros like it's Monopoly money. What? I guess I don't get this one because I haven't made the Euro trip yet. Aren't euros worth more than dollars? So what would this be like? It's not like you're trading in your US dollars and getting a whole shitload of euros back, right? Like, I feel like if he's spending euros left and right, he's gonna find out pretty soon here. And he'll wake up and be like, oh shit, if it ain't dollars, it's free. I guess so. Except euros are worth more than dollars. Got him. He's gonna find that out soon, I reckon. Those were fun to end on, I think. I'm gonna cut it there. That's POV. You're in Europe. I could certainly do more of those. Those were actually pretty fun, I think. I hope you enjoyed those. The comments will be useful on this one, so yeah, help me out down there with some of those. And I just appreciate you watching. It's going to be it for this one. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.